say, I think, the same idea, right? Native like or non-native like. So if you say I don't think, and then okay, you are here. Right? Okay. And how our learners develop that language? Of course, through interaction, right? Or else, with that interaction, you are able to speak Vietnamese, English. I understand you, but I don't like this way. However, if you are in the course of interaction with a lot of native speakers of English, and then little by little, you change the way you express yourself. So remember, in this way, self-correction. You are learning with Vietnamese teacher, pay attention to accuracy. You say, biết thì thưa thốt, không biết thì vừa cột mà nghe, for example, right? However, in this speaking environment, okay, speak it out, and then your friend, your partner will say something. Remember, when they say something, listen to them carefully, attentively, and you say, they raise the intonation, they lower the intonation, they repeat your sentence, and then changing only one word. They don't say it's wrong, they don't say it's wrong, but they will repeat the same thing, right? Changing, omitting only one word or two words, and then you have to know, oh, this is not correct, right? And then self-correction, that means we have to learn to take it to our heart and to apply it next time. Here, what factors influence their language? I have to think about this. Right. I remember having told you many times about cracking the abyss of dictation in the Vietnamese way. When we were young, we went to maybe grade 2, we were grade second grader, third graders, for example, and then we were given a piece of dictation of 80 words or 100 words. And as a teacher, we expect our learners to make maximum 5 mistakes, right? If they make 10, and then you give them 0. So you pay more attention to the accuracy. The same thing, right? The same thing, I observed the same thing in Australia. And then they make a very, very positive comment. Good, very good. Yeah? Okay, you did a good job. How do you say that? Because he could write 90 words correctly. 90 words correctly. And then he made only 10 mistakes. Positive side, positive aspect. What did the teacher pay attention to? More accuracy. And then errors are natural, right? Trial and error. We don't know, but we try to make some substitution, and the substitution is not, may not be correct, may not be right, may not be appropriate. Correct, but not appropriate. And then inevitable. And we check our view, essential part of language learning. And that's why I will show you the deductive analysis, differences between L1 and L2. And then we say we have based on the deductive analysis hypothesis. So then you listen to the song Love is Blue, right? And then we have two translations. Tình yêu là màu sắc. Okay, good. In our view, tình yêu là buồn thẳm. Blue, okay, in our view, good point, positive points. But blue in American English, for example, negative point. And then we have transfer. Is transfer good or bad? Transfer good or bad? Transfer good or bad?
something bad and something good. So it must work through a process of selection.
So you can see here the L1 and L2. You transfer something in L1 with that or with that, whether it is correct or incorrect. If it is correct, and then you have transfer. Right? Transfer. And then we have a positive one. The similar thing in F1 is okay. Or negative one, here we have negative transfer, or interference. Even if we say you eat it. Right? For example. Good thing. We have the sound merge. I-O-L-M, for example, merge. We don't open our mouth. Right? But here, okay, ice cream. Ice cream. We don't say ice cream. Stop. We say stop. Okay? Right. The purpose of studying learner language, because mistakes happen in the course of learning. And we try to, okay, systematize them, make them in inventory, and show them to the learners, help them to understand the possible implications, and of course we help them, expect them to correct by themselves. Self-correction is number one, not teacher correction. First, okay, we don't have time. Second, to a certain extent, it's a negative effect upon the learners. Right. And Vietnamese learners, for example, they are not sure if they are careful learners. They are not sure whether their friends will give them the good, the exact, the concise, the accurate correction. They heavily rely on the teachers. So this way, the study of learner language will help teacher first to assess teaching procedures. You pay attention to form, or you pay attention to meaning. You understand? Form and meaning. Focus on form and focus on meanings. You understand it? What does it mean? We have focus on form, focus on meaning. Okay, to make it simple, focus on form, grammar, accuracy, focus on meaning through negotiation. You may not, okay. Some of us are able to express ourselves very clearly, smoothly. Some others cannot, right? However, in the course of teaching, and then we interact with each other through meaning making, and I understand we better. So, when I say focus on meaning, pay attention to fluency, right? To fluency. And then the way the teacher teaching this way, we have learners to be aware of the steps they go through. Is easy or difficult? The steps. Now, for example, make it globally. For example, I ask you to write. I give you a topic, and then you write right away. You don't bother. Okay, stop. Brainstorming, moving around the ideas around, making the outline, or something. Steps. But when I ask you to write, you write. Of course, in this way, you make a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. And then the study and learner language will help the learner to understand deeper, more thoroughly the possible mistakes. The possible mistakes. I say this one. If you read newspaper, especially the Nhân Dân, and then you can say, what does it mean? What does it mean? What is his name? Yeah. Right? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So when you say, think about this one. Always say we lay and here they say we don't say we don't say William. Think about that. Or else, okay, then you say this one. So this is where you see the deep understandings of the errors, right? We have to be happy that because they don't know how to pronounce exactly, they have to try to make some substitution. And you as teacher, as expert, you have to know and make some intervention. Right, mistakes, errors. First, we good enough in terms of learning and teaching English. However, sometimes we make mistakes. Why? For example, you prepare very carefully, but for some reason, right? You feel nervous. Because due to your anxiety, and then you slip your tongue. So this way, having to pick up the mistakes is evidence of misapplication, not the evidence of faulty knowledge. So in this way, the teacher recognizes the mistake and tries to help you. But you do it again, and again, and it becomes fossilized. You know? Fossilized, that means you don't know what happened. You do it again and again, and then it becomes errors, knowledge. It's quite simple. So mistakes, misjudgments, miscalculation, error assumption. So we have the performance errors, not competence error. You know? Or you don't know? Right. The error, noticeable deviation. The Vietnamese say it this way, you say it in another way. Right? Then again and again, noticeable deviation. From the adult grammar. When we say adult grammar, that means the one we take from books, the one we learn from native speakers of English. And what is the aim of error analysis? First, we help them to find out how well the learner knows. So sometimes we have a double negative, right? For example, không ai mà không thích, không ai mà không biết. For example, but here we have a not, but and then find out how the learners learn from the lecture. So through the mistake, you know, okay, where they are now in terms of learning. And then I interact with you and I think, okay, these guys are good overall, but I actually make some mistake in the pronunciation. These girls are good overall, but okay, in writing, these written errors are more frequent. So we obtain information about common difficulties to certain group of learners. I say to certain group of learners. Right. And for that, a teacher, you have to design remedial exercises. Remedial. And if you are asked to write in the textbooks, you don't have to cover 44 sounds, right? But you pay attention to the practice of certain sounds, which Vietnamese learners often make errors. Not all, right? For example, you have, when you teach this one, right? For example, you say fine, fair, okay. Vietnamese learners don't make mistake of this one, right? But if they say stop, okay. So more practice will be given to this aspect, not this one. Right? Similarly, we have took. Okay, this one is okay, but it say or stop. Okay, this one. More practice in this one, not in this one. Preparation of teaching materials, right? And provide data from which differences about the nature of the learning process. So you have, for example, you have 44 sounds. Of course, we have to introduce them all, but not, okay, the first day, 2, the second day, 2. We can have the first day, maybe 4, easier one, but we give more time to more problematic sounds. Now think about the types of errors. Well, 3. Number 1, developmental and transfer. Developmental, maybe interlingual, inside our own L1 example, and interlingual. Let this one you see. Có không thích. And then you say, I don't like it, instead of I don't like it. Or sometimes you say, I don't like it. I don't like it. And then transfer from L1 to L2. Vietnamese. I very like. And I often say, a girl beautiful. The common mistake. A girl beautiful. Instead of beautiful here, a girl beautiful. Now, number 2, this is the higher context bound. Context bound. Some error is released by foreign language learner are context bound. If you take it out, it is correct, right? In terms of structure, in terms of sentence only. But okay, in the context, in a paragraph. Now who can give me an example for this one? the context bound. Depending on the linguistic context, we have to is a human, right? To forgive is divine. You know this one? Yes or no? You know that? We learn this one in literature. In 1996, when I was in Melbourne, right? And one day, I read the newspaper and I laughed to myself. If you don't understand this one, in the context, the linguistic context, you cannot understand this one. Why? We have some titles of the astro. You know Hugh Grant? You know him? Yes. A famous British actor. And this one is very handsome, and he goes out with a lot of ladies, beautiful ladies. At that time, he dated one famous model, right? And one night, when he finished casting, right, at the Hollywood, on the way home, and then he was wooed by black ladies. There is something in his car, and then was caught in action by the police, right? And you know, in the words of showbiz, tomorrow, okay, everybody could read, okay, news, read something like this, and then the names of the ladies divide around. And then you can see, okay, how they use the words. We have human, okay? Now we use this one, huge, 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 and then we have huge here. Right? We have, okay, rank, big, right? Powerful man, right? Rank. Because when this one is at the end of the word, it lost its explosion. You say grand, right? Something like this. And then you have this one and this one. So, in this way we have the context bound. And one more thing. For example, I learned something from the newspaper. How do you understand? I don't like any flames here. Both old and new. What does it mean? Okay, this is the interaction, the conversation between Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. You know, Bill Clinton is very handsome, very smart, and intelligent guy. But the fact that he is the United States president, but he is a very amorous, Amorous. And one day, Hillary went on mission. She was away from the White House at that time. You know the lady who sang the Woman in Love? Who sang Woman in Love? Barbara Streisand. You know that? Right, very famous lady singer, very famous actress, and was in Washington DC on her performance, and she was asked to stay in the White House. Hillary knew that they used to go out with each other when they were young, and then she got very angry, and she burst out saying, "Bill, I don't like any friends here." Oh, and Neil. So what is he? In the context, flames here does not mean fire, but flame here means ex-lover. So if you are to translate it into Vietnamese, how will you express yourself? If you are to translate it to express yourself this way, and how? You. Các động từ Việt có thể. Người anh phải diễn tả, anh nắm cái đá, nắm kịch, anh diễn tả cái câu động từ Việt, anh diễn tả sao? Anh phải duyệt ngữ, cần tiếng Anh sang Việt, lột tả, dòng điều, lột tả sự căm giận. How to express yourself? Okay, express your anger. Này, ba nói cho mà biết nhé. Cái gì bắt thì được rồi. Này, ba nói cho mà biết nhé. Ba có thích con đi nào đấy này. Phrases devoted to the meaning, right? To express your anger. The flame here. And then, so this way, certain linguistic environment may help you to understand, right? Or may hinder you from understanding. And one more thing, in pronunciation, in Vietnamese, we have, in English, we have this one. You know this one? Yes or no? Only one syllable, right? Right. So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4. The nucleus. Right? We have this one concept. And how about this one? We have the maximum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 1, maybe nothing, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. No more than that. Right? And then even means we don't have this one.